The following audio is courtesy of RTE Libraries and Archives.
Today, as you know, outside is a beautiful day in Dublin. Last night, however, it rained cats and dogs, and for 80 people sleeping rough in the city centre, this makes the task of keeping dry and warm very difficult indeed, as you can imagine. But one thing they can rely on is the Simon Soup Run, a hot cup of tea, soup, sandwich and a kind word. Brenda, tell me more about this.
Well, when we go on tour, we normally do a magic moment where we surprise somebody in the audience who's done something selfless, has been kind or whatever. But this time we thought about doing something a little different and organising maybe a group of people or an organisation. And when you think about Dublin city centre and you think about homelessness, the Simon community is synonymous with the work that they do. And the soup run, and we're in the centre of Dublin, and that's where they give out the soup and sandwiches mainly. Now, last night they were going out to Clontarf and Glasnevin and that, but it's mainly in the centre of Dublin. So last night I went along to Capel Street and they have a centre there and it's called the Sleep Rough Centre, and I met the volunteers and I went out with two of them. Now, outside the street, it looks all very quiet. And you go up the stairs into this office and I can't tell you the hive of activity that it was. There were all the volunteers there and there were the rucksacks and people were making sandwiches and soup and, you know, putting the whole thing together. And it was really very professional and it was like a factory line the way they were doing it. And they would check up with workers who were there early to see were there any new people on the streets that they should be watching out for. Had people moved location? So they went out not just armed with their soup, their sandwiches, some woolly hats and socks to give to people, but they also had with them information as to people's movements, location changes, new people that have come along. And I was fascinated, and I went out with two volunteers, Liz Griffin and Paul Lawler, and we had a chat and we were talking about why they do it and all of this. And one of the things that struck me was I kept saying, and like, how did this person become homeless? And they kept saying, Brenda, it's not really about how. We're sitting here and we're just looking at them and we're just trying to deal with them as they are now. So ours is not about their backstory. This is about them as they are. So anyway, last night, in the bucket and rain, we went out, myself, Paul and Liz, and I said, my God, Liz, does it always rain like this when you do the soup run?
It is, but we normally don't get too wet, never.
What do you mean?
Well, we've never got drowned.
Yeah.
But maybe tonight could be our first night with you.
Yeah, thanks for that. So Liz, how did you get into volunteering with Simon?
I was 4 years in college and I noticed a guy in a car park I used to use in Dublin city centre, and I noticed the Dublin Simon crowd looking after him every so often, and I just said, well, someday when I can do it, when I can spend the time, I will do it. So then I found myself with the time and now I'm doing it.
And Paul, tell me about yourself. How long are you volunteering with Simon?
Not too long, a relative newbie since February. I got into it, I suppose, it's kind of a cliche really, but I just felt very fortunate in what I had. I got a good family, good friends, and I managed to get a good education, things like that as well. So I decided if I got a chance to give a little back, because others are less fortunate and some people make bad decisions sometimes. If we can help them out with a bit of soup and sandwiches and a bit of a chat, then I think it's worthwhile.
Okay, and Liz, what appealed to you about the soup run? I mean, there's loads of other things I'm sure you could have done with Simon.
It's non-judgmental. You're not trying to force anything on them. You're just asking, do they want a sandwich? Do they want a bit of soup? Do they want tea? And it's a basic need. And that's why, they were right in with the people.
Liz, we're coming up towards Grafton Street. How do you feel about some of the people you meet?
When I see them that this is their street, their sitting room in a way, because this is where they're living. So I feel like I'm just passing through their sitting room, like the rest of the people who are on their way to work or on their way home or wherever they are on their way to the home, people with homes. I try and be respectful to the people who are on the streets.
Sorry, tea or soup?
Tea.
Tea it is.
Please, tea. No, tea. Is that tea?
Do you want some sugar with that?
Yeah, 4 please.
4 please. Do you want a cup of tea?
I'll have a cup of tea. Have you coffee?
We haven't. We just got tea or soup.
Tea will do me, please. Thank you very much.
What about a sandwich?
I always wanted to do that to one of them.
He's just headbutted my microphone. Of course you can, yeah.
What about a sandwich?
I'll have a sandwich, please, if you don't mind.
We've got egg or tuna fish.
Give me the tuna fish, please.
Tuna fish.
I'll have 4 sugar, please, yeah.
You're very funny.
Thanks very much for saying that now. I don't know why, living like this, but sure, you have to have some sense of humour, don't you,
Where are you going tonight?
I just sleeps down the lane way. The hostel people get me in if I want to, but I like sleeping out on my own,
How come?
That's the way I am. I'm a loner, put it that way, Have you got sleeping bags?
The Rough Sleeper team were just here, actually.
But I might catch up to them.
They're coming back.
They're very good, they're very good, they're very good.
Wait, what do you eat today, by the way?
I don't eat in the daytime. I'm on a diet.
I told you were funny.
A diet. No, I just don't, my stomach don't be able for it because I drink the old beer, like, you know. At night time now, I'll eat that, like, that'll do me now for the night, like, and I'll be full after that, like, you know.
Hi, you're having a sandwich and a cup of tea, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Well, what happened to your sleeping bag? They're just telling me.
Yeah, they got robbed there by other homeless people who took it there the night, and I had to go around trying to get one, but I found one, but it's soaking wet and it's smelly, so I'm waiting for the rough sleepers now to come back to me to give me a new one so I could keep warm tonight, you know.
The sandwich you're going to have now, have you eaten much today?
No, I haven't. Haven't eaten at all.
And do you think it's important to get the sandwich? I mean, is it something you'd look out for?
Yeah, it would be. It'd be a cup of tea I'd be looking forward to, you know.
Are you out and about long on the street here?
About 10 years, a little over 10 years. Now, I had pneumonia a couple of times. I ended up in hospital very bad because of the weather and all.
Right, well, look, enjoy your sandwich, okay? I hope you get your sleeping bag soon.
So, thanks very much.
Bye.
Talk to you again anyway. Goodbye.
Okay, see you.
So how many sandwiches have we got left there?
I've 6 sandwiches, no biscuits, no fruit. How are we for tea and coffee?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we've got a few people left to see, so should be grand.
Okay.
And what kind of sandwiches? Do people have a preference?
A lot of them seem to prefer white bread. After that, they're usually willing to take what they can, but they don't always like what they're given, and that's okay.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm very good.
And what's your name?
It's Jonathan.
Jonathan, we're getting drenched here in the rain.
Absolutely, 100% we are.
I know, it's not great, is it?
No, it's not good, no.
You have a cup of soup?
I do, which the Simon just gave me.
Come here, what are you going to do tonight?
I'm hoping to get indoors into the Simon Community Ushers Island tonight. There's a backlog as such of a lot of people trying to get indoors, and yeah, it's very hard to get somewhere to stay.
Jonathan, you're sitting under the cash machine here in Chatham Street. Is it good for a few bob?
It used to be years ago, maybe. I don't know. That's what people tell me.
The recession.
I'm not doing this a long time, but it's not. No, I'm sitting here the last, I'd say 3 to 4 hours, and I have about €3.20 in my pockets. About €3.20, yeah.
How long are you doing this?
Only the last year and a half. I was born in Dublin, but I was brought up down the country. I was adopted and brought up down the country, so that was me.
Thanks for talking to me, okay?
Yeah, no problem, yeah.
All right.
All the sandwiches are gone, Paul.
Yeah, all out now, and in fact the soup and tea is out as well. So actually a very busy night, which is unusual when it's very rainy. But just happened to be quite a lot of people out tonight, and that's you get a mixed bag sometimes.
Simon Soup and Sandwich Run is done for tonight. Paul and Liz, it's been my pleasure meeting you both, and keep up the good work.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, I think you certainly get from that report that a lot of these people probably wouldn't have a meal if it wasn't for the Simon Community Soup Run. So the work of Paul and Lisa and their colleagues and their friends and everybody else who volunteers to have out in Simon is certainly very much looked forward to by the people who are, unfortunately, in this day and age, today, can't understand why it happens, still living on the streets. Yeah,
well, if you think about it, there are 250 volunteers on the Soup Run, and each night 15 different people go out. So you 15, 7 15s, if you know what I mean. And all of them give up their night, and obviously they're, trained and they work very hard. And the thing that just struck me, it wasn't just Paul and Liz, I saw a lot of them going around, was just they got down, they spoke to the people, they were just very kind, very gentle, very concerned, not prying. If the people didn't want to talk, they moved away. If people wanted a sleeping bag, they made a call to get them a sleeping bag. And it was just that kindness. I can't kind of explain it or put it into pictures or words. When people just give of themselves, it just gets to you. And I think the volunteers there are just stunning. And what they do, in the spilling rain last night, they gave people soup and a sandwich and something to eat to sustain them for the evening. And for that, we'd like to give some of the volunteers a little prize, Derek, if that's okay.
Yeah, we're delighted to give 2 nights bed and breakfast and 1 dinner. It's a break for 2 people at the 4-star Castle Court Hotel in Westport in County Mayo. Stayed there a few weeks ago, as it happens, filming, and it's a beautiful place, along with spa treatments at their amazing spa Sulla. But we unfortunately don't have one for everybody who works in Simon Community, no more than we have one for everybody in the audience. But they have come up with a way of distributing this themselves, Brenda.
Yeah, what they said is they'll do a raffle. They'll put
Amongst
it all
the
in the hat.
volunteers.
Amongst the 250, and one of them will get an opportunity to go to Westport, the nicest place to live in Ireland apart from the Liberties, and they're going to go away and have this wonderful weekend. Love to give one to all of them, but at least one of them will get a good break.
Yeah.
And they're fab people, great setup, and to be honest with you, more than anything, it was their kindness that blew me away last night.
Well, let's remember all of the volunteers of the Simon community right here, right now. Just let me read you, it's gone off there, I can't do it now. I was going to read you a text message, but just to say, lots of text messages and emails coming in, just commenting on the good work that the Simon community do, which I think is very important to read that out. Doesn't matter, leave it. Read that out. But it's very important because a lot of people are saying that in this day and age, this shouldn't be the case. And I totally concur with that. I think they are dead right. It seems like all the time now we're relying on volunteers and charitable donations and fundraisers, and you wonder, where has all the money gone? Where did it go when we have it? Why wasn't it spent on all of these things? And even then, there were charitable donations and fundraisers and everything else, and I'll probably be sacked tomorrow. There you go, right. Would you agree with me?